And joining us this morning, like he does on Mondays at 8 o'clock, Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald, who asked the question. And I was trying to figure out, we just got to close and what he's going to say. And he decided to hit the old leadership and then get into team player-only meetings. First of all, Omar, F the player meetings, man. Enough with the player meetings. It's like too deep. How we spent all last year talking about too deep. The players' meetings. That's not why they're losing games.
I think people have a misunderstanding about what he's referring to when he's talking about player-only meetings.
Everybody must have misunderstood then in the whole country.
These aren't, we're in a crisis, let's have a player-only meeting where we air out our grievances. This is a weekly meeting between Tua and his receivers and Tua and his offensive linemen about packages and protections and plays and audibles and things like that. He generally holds it on Thursday with his wide receivers. Maybe guys are showing up late for it. Maybe they're too much in the hot tub and strolling in when they feel like it. I don't know specifically what he's talking about, but I think the public has to understand he's not referring to, I call a players only meeting on our day off and the whole team needs to show up and we go over what's going on. The question was specifically about what does leadership need to do to basically stop this bleeding and what's woe is me. And he's talking about accountability, which is what you should want your leaders to be talking about. Can you question Tua from a leadership standpoint? Yes, you can question everybody from a leadership standpoint. I thought that they didn't have that much of great leadership coming into this season. But in my opinion, leadership isn't really the reason why they're losing and why they're 1-5 right now.
They're just not a good enough team.
Not knowing how to finish games. When you talk to this team, you hear the players basically pointing all the fingers of blame on the young players that are playing and contributing. The Jonas Savanayas and the Kenneth Grants and the Jordan Phillips and the Dante Trader. And it's real poor timing that Dante Trader, who'd had a pretty decent, quiet rookie season, all of us misses would have maybe helped seal the game. But it's not just the rookies that aren't showing up. Jalen Phillips also missed a number of sacks. Jalen Phillips might be like on double-digit sacks he's missed this season. And, Zach Sealer, I mean, let's be real about it. Is Zach Sealer having a Zach Sealer type season? Now, would it be beneficial for him to have a defensive lineman that he can work with in tandem, another athletic guy that he can do twists and stunts with? Absolutely. But that's not what he's been given. So, and the right side of the offensive line, it is what it is, man. You hopefully that Daniel, hopefully they're coming back. James Daniels and Austin Jackson, hopefully they're coming back at some point by November. But by then, the season will probably be over.
Yeah. So let me get back to this. So the only problem I have as a former player, I don't want my quarterback up there throwing anybody on the team under the bus. You got a problem, you go to those individuals. If it's Waddle, and I'm just throwing out names, I don't know. I'm not accusing them of being the guys, but if it's Waddle, all of a sudden it's a little salty, or if it's Jalen, he looks like he's in the doghouse right now. Our third running back. So if it's any of those guys, man, go talk to them. You're the quarterback. Go talk to them. There's no reason. And I get your question. I get it. Like, how do we close out these games, man? Like, I get it. We've had some chances. You just figure odds you get a couple of these games, especially that one yesterday. Oh, good God. That was a brand new way to lose. But anyway, Omar, I don't think you just don't do that. You don't do that, man. And
I can hear you, Joe.
I don't know. Now, listen, man, maybe he said something to you guys later. I didn't mean it that way. It came out wrong. Some people, now I don't think he was when he said leadership, he was somewhat taking shots at Mike. And Mike came out and went, hey, guys are good with me. They're on time. Don't get that on Mr. Ross's list. No, they're here.
That's funny, Joe.
Thank
But yeah, it's we are officially at the finger pointing stage
yes,
of this
we
show.
are. You're right.
Let's not
That's true.
be naive in terms of like we've been on this dance before. We've been on this mediocrity merry-go-round for 2 decades, Joe. We have reached the finger pointing stage.
Yes, we have.
Now, is Tua the first person to point fingers? Yeah, he is. But I don't have. I hear where you're coming from, but I'm asking for accountability, and I have critically said these leaders aren't going to be good enough, and everybody knows what I talk about, so I can't hide from none of that stuff.
Omar, we got 26 coaches, 27 coaches, damn near one coach per 2 players.
We're trying to, huh?
I said we've got 26 coaches. We got assistant. We got assistant to assistant. We got two.
Yeah.
We got 2 players and a coach for every 2 players. Those guys need to coach them up, coach their mistakes, tell them what we need to do to win games. They've been around. It's a pretty good coaching staff. I just think we're putting too much on who should be the leader and.
Yeah. Well, no, because you have to have lead. The coaches aren't going to help you when you're on the field. So I disagree with you from that standpoint, Joe. But here's my thing, and this is something that I've been asking a lot of players about, past and present players. Who taught you how to study film? Who taught you how to prepare for a game outside of your coaches? Because most guys will tell me that it's another player. It's your coaches can't really. They can direct you. Some people, their coaches taught them how to study.
By the way, that is true. We had a nice built-in with like Nat Moore was a professor. He was fantastic with us. Bruce Hardy was always willing to help when he was a couple years ahead of me. You're right. There was always guys there. And I also had a really good coach at the time, a guy named Dan Henning that I was a big fan of.
Oh, Dan. Yeah.
Love Dan Henning. So
listen, and to me, that's what's the issue and what's going on right now. In my mind, especially with the young players, there's nobody out there coaching them, teaching them how to study film. And then we're now on week 6 where they're continuously making the same mistakes and having the same issues. And that's not acceptable. That's problematic. And the problem is there is nobody fixing the problem. Nobody's addressing it. And these rookies, these young players, they're not going to get better until somebody teaches them what they don't know.
The defense obviously struggling, and you've been on this, and I've been fighting with Woody all morning. You're exactly right. The biggest problem we have is defense. It's not lefty throwing the court, but what the hell happened in the third quarter where they come out and got it was one of the worst third quarters I've ever seen our team have. That was like both sides. It was, how do you come out after a break with a few point lead and play like that? I know they came back in the fourth and took the lead, but how did that happen?
I think there are lulls that happen, and if we're probably gonna, and it's interesting that you say that because I got to look up statistically what the defense does, what the offense does in the third quarter. But there are lulls that happen, and this team is not. They're not performing well in the third quarter. Maybe it's the adjustments that opposing teams are making.
Right, that is part of it. That's part of it right there. Yeah.
Yeah. I can honestly tell you, I don't necessarily know what the recipe or the answer is for when the offense just falls asleep. And it's happened in a couple of games. It hasn't happened in all the games, but it definitely has happened in a couple of games.
So let me ask you, because I'm getting this. I got it after the game. I walked to the parking lot. I don't know if you have people waiting for you and know where you park every week, but they were out. They were all out, man. White, black, young, a little older. They were all out there last night, and they want to know, hey, man, what's Mr. Ross? What's going on with Mr. Ross? Well, is this just because he's making money? No, and I was like, nah, he wants to win. I know. I see that look on his face still. But what's going to happen? We just going to finish this out and maybe beat Cleveland? What happens now?
to me, Cleveland is at the starting point of a loss to Cleveland is when I possibly think that we could see somebody relieved of their duties. I don't. I've said this consistently, and I stand on this. You fire somebody, is it going to make the problem better right now? And I don't know if we want to make the problem better. I don't know exactly what we're intending to do right now outside of this team having to win, I believe, at least 8 of their last 11 games to produce a winning record. If they can't do that, then we know what time it is, because that's the status quo, and that's not even playoffs. Winning 8 of 10 or 9 of winning 8 of 11 or 9 of 11 to make the playoffs. Come on, that's unrealistic. But
let me say this: the only thing I'm saying to you is, Omar, you have to send something to your team, to your fan base, because your fan base thinks that you don't care.
That's delusion. Do you have to give you have to give a body to your fan base? You have to make a sacrifice to your fan base for
Penn State did it yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's true. And $49 million later, okay, what did they achieve? Are the problems going to get better, or are they going to sell more season tickets? Nobody's buying any. Nobody's renewing any season tickets, whether they fire somebody or not. Right now.
No. You're right. But can you imagine, like, how would you like to be working in the sales department for the Miami Dolphins? Going, it's time to renew your tickets.
Yeah,
and they're hanging up and they're screaming at these kids and they got tears in their eyes. Nobody's ever talked to me like that. They told me to kiss their butt.
Renewal date. I need to know the renewal date, because they might want to delay that thing. Just push it back a little bit, because you're going to get a hell of a lot of no's. And it's got to get to the point of Steve Ross being embarrassed for him to do anything to make changes. Once he's embarrassed, he will act.
Yeah, but Mr. Ross is successful at everything. Like I went through this with Wayne Huizenga. Like, he's been successful at everything he does. He's worth billions and billions of dollars, and he's known. And like now he owns this team that people know him more for that than the development that and he's one of the largest developers in the world.
Yes.
And it's like,
I remember one time I had a conversation with him about his failures way back. Like, we're talking failures like 2012.
Yeah.
And he basically said, yeah, man, I've been successful in everything I've ever done except for this. And the problem is I can't throw money at this.
Yeah.
I can't just hire one guy to run the project. And
that's what Mr. H said, the same thing. Mr. Huizenga and Stephen Ross had a lot in common, because I had a long talk with Mr. Huizenga one day, and it was right after Humpty Dumpty at Alabama had left with the wife, left town. And he's like,
you
man.
still bitter about that, Joe?
No, I'm good. I think he's really good on the team. I love him on game day. I do.
Yeah.
I think he's really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Still got to bust his balls a little bit, though. Anyway.
And the funny thing is, Joe, I remember him saying, if I could go get Tom Brady, I would. And then the man tried to go get Tom Brady twice. Yeah. And still fell short.
Yeah.
The problem I see with this situation is I can't name you anybody that I want to give czar power to and feel confident that they're going to change the franchise and get it headed in the right direction. Now, do I feel like they need a scorched earth cleanse? They absolutely do. That's the only thing that I've never seen get done around here.
Yeah. Hey,
I've never seen them clean house and just start over.
So, and by the way, I agree with you, and they're going to have to. I mean, you can't do a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit everywhere. You can't you can't do that. But I want to ask you, who are you most disappointed with, veteran players wise, that's just not playing well right now? I thought our pass rush was going to chew them up yesterday.
Yeah.
Even the bad backups were injured yesterday. I mean, I got nothing against Bobby Hart, and I know his father listens to the show sometimes, and I'm not taking a shot at him. He's St. Thomas Aquinas kid. But he hadn't played in a couple years. He starts at tackle. I just thought we'd chew these guys up. I mean, they got some good pass rush, but just one sack.
Yeah.
Got rid of the ball
defensive
quickly.
line.
I don't know.
The defensive line was supposed to set the table for the entire team. They've done a poor job of doing that. I don't want to blame it all on the rookies, but when you can't stop the run, you have no ability to pass rush, and then you can't necessarily get turnovers. The list is a lot shorter about guys who've actually played well early this season.
Yeah.
Devon Achane, the Rasul Douglas, the Patrick Paul, Aaron Brewer. Other than that, everybody else falls into my "you've fallen short of expectations" list.
Yeah. All right, man. I don't know, man. I just this is very frustrating I know you cover it and look at it, and you have to deal with it every day. Anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you.
Thanks. Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald.